Hi everyone, this is a 5-part series to help you structure some of your conversations that you're having in your teams about racism. And there's some things that we need to start off with really. These sessions should last about 20 minutes, just having some back and forth discussion. So the first thing I want you to think about is, what is race? Where does that idea come from? Where does the idea of race comes from? What's racism and what do you think it looks like? And 3, I would really like you to think about who racism impacts. Really think about that power dynamic, like who would it impact every time. And also to think about your first experiences with racism, even as a BAME person. When was the first time you came across racism? So I'd like you to pause me there, have that discussion, and then come back to me. So now that you've had that break, hopefully you've come to a conclusion that race is a power construct that was created by Europeans to justify things like the transatlantic slave trade. Hopefully you'll understand that racism is discriminatory actions towards a group based on ethnicity or skin colour. But under UK law, that's extended to nationalities as well. So it might be that you're a white person, but if you're from, say, Italy or Eastern European, you can still experience racism. And hopefully you've spoken about the power dynamic, that racism is almost always between the dominant group, which would be the white group, and other groups, people of colour. So within racism, you will always have that power dynamic. Race is a power construct created which says the white race is on top, brown races are in the middle, and black races are at the bottom. So anytime we experience racism, that's the power dynamic that always exists. Therefore, you will have greater impact on those brown groups, but in particular, black groups who are at the bottom of that racial hierarchy. Understanding that we've all kind of witnessed or seen or heard of racism and how traumatic that would have been for members of those groups or for you as a person watching it. And that actually there can be different outcomes. It can lead to belittling, feelings of trauma, gaslighting, and in some circumstances, physical abuse and even death. So it's something that we shouldn't take lightly. We should do our best to educate ourselves on. But hopefully you've had a discussion and you've all come to an understanding of what racism is.